Hello everybody. I just decided to make a short but very useful video about a new rotatable UltraBeam antenna system dedicated to the 80 meter band, namely the UB-80. What I first would like to say is that the dipole antenna I'm going to describe differs from any other antenna as it has a motorized loading coil on each half dipole. Because of this, it is a dipole antenna which will always and perfectly be resonant on each and every kilohertz it operates on, and not only on a specific preset band portion of whatsoever system or method. What you can see here is the new RCU04, the fully touchscreen UltraBeam antenna controller to where we at UltraBeam have installed dedicated software for the 80 meter dipole. I will first make a quick manual test to show you how the user's graphical interface works. Then I will connect the antenna controller to the radio and let everything work automatically. The software is quite easy to operate. There are 7 preset band portions 50 kHz wide, which will permit you to choose any particular frequency across the whole 80 meter band. Then, by simply pressing up or down, you can perform fine-tuning within the selected band portion. I now will be transmitting to show you that if the motorized loading coils are not activated, the bandwidth of the antenna is limited to a very few kilohertz only. As in any other 80 meter band antenna system using loading coils, you can see that by moving the transmitting frequency by a few kilohertz, the SWR rises so quickly that the antenna becomes quite unusable. Even if you used an antenna tuner, the performance of the antenna will remain compromised. In order to let you see how the antenna works, I will now select one of the preset band portions. While transmitting, the transmitting frequency remains on 3500 kHz, and as I move to 3550, the SWR rises rapidly. But as soon as I go on 3550, you can see that the antenna is perfectly resonant. I select now 3600 kHz, and again, when I tune on this frequency, the SWR drops down. What I will now do is the other way around. I will tune the transmitter on another frequency, and inevitably the SWR will rise immediately. The SWR needle of the cross needle meter I have chosen to better show the action of the loading coils gives you a clear idea of the action of the loading coils in relation to what is doing in the antenna controller. I now select 3500 kHz again and activate the CAT for an automatic demo, which is what everybody will do. Now I restart the connection with the radio. Right now I have the antenna controller connected to the radio. I'm now changing the frequency while transmitting. You can see that the SWR is rising, but the step motors of the loading coils will immediately adjust them, and therefore the dipole will always be perfectly resonant on the transmitting frequency. This is something which is really unique on the 80 meter band and will permit you to tune across the whole band, and as you can see, with the highest performance. This dipole can be tuned across the whole 80 meter band from 3500 to 300 kHz and even higher. The UB-80 antenna can actually be tuned up to 4000 kHz without any problem, but now I'm only interested in our European 80 meter window. I just want to specify and make clear that what you are just watching is not a sort of automatic tuner. I'm tuning the antenna dipole not at its feed point, but actually I'm tuning the element. Therefore, it will be resonating exactly on the frequency shown by the controller, and in fact the SWR is always 1:1. Rotatable dipoles normally employ loading coils in order to make them resonant on the DX window, normally around 3800 kHz, and any mismatch will be corrected by means of relay switched coils at the antenna feed point. This will permit the transmitter to see an impedance of 50 ohm and therefore an SWR of 1:1. But this doesn't mean the antenna is resonating on that particular frequency. In such a case, the antenna performance will inevitably deteriorate, because what really does determine the resonance of a dipole is the length of each half antenna, or the inductance of its loading coils, in the case where the physical length has to be reduced. Well, this is the presentation of the new UB-80 and its controller, and now I want to turn the tuning the other way round, and as you can see, the loading coils are following my frequency changes. I now go somewhat quicker to better let you see how they're following me. In other words, the antenna resonance follows me in real time. During the usual reception condition, I will have the antenna constantly ready to transmit. This is the new UB-80. Just a brief reminder about some of the functions of the software. It has been chosen to have 3 memory banks for the presets. Right now presets are all similar, but these memory banks can be very useful when you want to memorize a new one. For example, if some particular weather conditions or even some snow on the dipole have changed by some kilohertz the resonant frequency of the existing presets, you may select another memory bank to memorize the new preset for that particular condition and keep your antenna always perfectly resonant. Well, many greetings to everyone from India Kilo 1 Delta Yankee Sierra.